Okay, Mason, Newcastle United 0 Everton 1. We've lost today on the final game of the season, but Champions League, here we come. We've got it for next season.
And a big thank you to Newton Heath and Chelsea for making our day impossible. And now we were shit, but thank you very much, because I know I hate the bones of yours, but thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, the performance was disappointing today, but we could have done a bit better. But yeah, I'm just buzzing. We got Champions League.
That's it, we've got the main thing. I mean, do you think the lineup looked a bit wrong today? Well, we still went 5 at the back today. Personally, I don't think Gordon should have started again. I mean, I thought, again, he looked offensive for me again.
One of the poorest players on the pitch today, and I've said constantly he's not to start him, and he fucking did. I mean, something's not right with him.
He needs now, either they're going to have to get some work done with him to get his fitness back up, or he's going to need a very big pre-season Anthony Gordon.
I think somebody's still wanting that Liverpool move.
Do you think so?
Me personally, yes. I think he still wants that Liverpool move.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the goal they scored. I mean, it's a free header for Enquiries. The defending's very, very poor, and Nick Pope just unfortunately stands there and kind of move to stop the ball from going in the back of the net.
Could have done a lot better than that, and when Enquiries scored, I was just thinking, we've bottled Champions League, haven't we? We've bottled Champions League, yeah. I just was literally raging inside. But you know what it is? Enquiries is a decent player. I'm now why Southampton got rid of him in the summer. I'm not why Southampton got rid of him, because if Southampton would have stayed up, there's your player right there.
Yeah, I mean, we had chances to try and get the equaliser, but I think a certain little arm was very on his game today for them, unfortunately.
You know what it is? I've been thinking for the past few days he's going to have a worldie, and he did. I fucking knew it. But you know what it is? You know what it is? He turns up on the big occasions, and he turned up today. I mean, I know he's a Mackham and all that, but he was excellent today.
I mean, I thought he was. He made some good saves. He knew when to come for balls when he could, and you can understand why. He's the England number one goalkeeper.
I'm surprised he hasn't got to move somewhere else, to be honest. But I think it shows you he's happy at Everton. And to be honest, after that performance today, I think top 10 could be looming for Everton next season if the Chipaz say we go again twice. If they keep playing like what they've done today next season, I think they'll be top 10 for Everton. Because the reason why, I think that's the best Everton side I've seen in a long, long time. It's come to St James's Park under different managers in a long, long time.
Fair play to Moyes. He's got that team really playing well. They did give us a game of the day and they got the goal. We just couldn't find an answer to get the equalising goal. But let's talk at the scenes at the end. Until we heard the full times at Old Trafford, Man United won, Chelsea won, and that now confirmed Champions League football at the end, and you can see the celebrations as the end.
Can I just say a little thank you to that little Mackham bastard Amad Diallo, who made it possible for us to be in Europe. I know they had Martin there sent off, but thank you, Diallo. I know you played for Sunderland, but thank you very much. And obviously, we're not for losing again. I think. Yeah, I think they be disappointing. And hopefully the answer comes back next season.
Let's see. I mean, let's talk about the applause at the end. I mean, the way Callum Wilson was going on applauding everyone, do you think that was a sign that it was officially going to be goodbye for Callum Wilson at this football club now?
Yeah, it just shows you. I think he is away. No, if we want to be competing in the Champions League, we've got to move on players like him, because I thought again today, poor again today.
Nah, yeah, did really. I mean, and we've got to look at that. I think some other players will probably be could have said their goodbyes as well. I think there's going to be could be a few more departures out of the club as well.
At least our FFP and PSR is decent, like much better than the past couple of seasons. Why not go out guns blazing? Because I cannot wait.
That's it. And one final thing, the Timeway Derby's back next season. Are we looking forward to it?
50-50. Why ask that question? For fuck's sake.
I mean, as long as we beat them, that's all we want to do.
Last season when we played them, my anxiety was fucking crippled. It's gonna be that. It's the same again. But if we turn up, why not?
There you are. That's it. Right, Lawrence. Newcastle United 0, Everton 1. We may have lost the day, but Champions League, we've got it for next season.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good performance from us, but you know what, it doesn't really matter. We've got the Champions League to go along with the Carabao Cup.
Yep.
You know, yes, we had to rely on Aston Villa to get beat by Man United, but you know, you get your first where you finish based on 38 games, not based on one.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You've just put it there. Well said there. I mean, did you think what do you think looked a bit wrong today? I mean, do you think the formation looked a bit wrong? I personally think Gordon shouldn't have started today. I thought he was well off his game again for me.
I think you know, we should have been going 4-3-3. I mean, we're at home against Everton. You know, just stick to, you know, our usual formation. It was a bit disappointing. I mean, yes, okay, we changed at half time. We took Gordon off, put work on, yep. But even then, Dan Burn left back. I'm questioning that.
I was worried with that as well.
I mean, okay, he did bring on Trippier, but I would have done. You should have been doing that at half time and putting Tino at and keeping Tino on the left.
Could have possibly done that as well. Yep. I mean, the goal they scored. I mean, it is poor defending. It's a good header from Alcaraz, but it's a free header. But I don't know why no one was marking him, and Nick Pope doesn't even move a muscle to try and save the ball.
It was, yeah, just poor defending. Got to do better to stop the cross, and then, as you say, free header. We've got to be doing a lot better than that.
We tried to get back in the game. We had opportunities, but unfortunately, a certain somebody in goal for them today was on his game today. Unfortunately,
He had a good game, to be fair, when Pickford once again against us. Yeah, just making some cracking saves. Did it in the first half as well. Yeah, it was really frustrating, but just as well we've got the Champions League, because we would not have heard the end of this if his performance stopped us getting in.
well, that's it. Yep, absolutely. But we heard the full-time results that Villa have lost, and Forest have lost as well, and fifth place. But it was a Champions League spot. But the main thing is, look at the celebrations at the end to show that put the defeat behind us. The Champions League is back next season.
It is. I mean, these lads would have wanted Champions League. Yes, Europa League as a competition we could realistically win, but I think I'd be more desperate to get Champions League when you've seen Spurs and Man United get to the Europa League final, despite how bad they've been in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have just been a bit annoying for well, Spurs now, then being the Champions League and us not to be in the Champions League. I mean, it got to be frustrating for Villa, by the way, because they've been up there challenging all season, and they're only in the Europa League. But yeah, it would just be great in terms of like attracting players to the club, and you know, the money, prize money we can get.
Yeah, absolutely. Saw the lap of honour from the players go around the big game, but we saw Callum Wilson applauding the fans. Do you think that was a sign that it's a definite goodbye for Callum Wilson?
I think he looked a bit emotional from what I've seen on the telly screens, I think yeah, I think so. And plus he did hint probably on Monday, I think it was, that he's not going to get offered a contract. But John is got to thank him for. I know he's not scored a Premier League goal for us this season, but just got to say if he has gone, if he is going, just thank you for the goals.
Goals scored that kept us up in the Premier League under a certain awful manager we had in the past. You could say he was part of the season we finished fourth as well, but I think we now have just noticed that the injuries, he was starting to pick them up again, and you could tell they've absolutely massively caught up with them in the end.
They have, yeah, and you know what, he can maybe do a job as a squad player for someone like Leeds, like a team in the relegation battle, because you know, when we signed him, it was under Mike Ashley, and we were just happy to stay in the Premier League. But obviously, you know, we've progressed since then, and he's and yeah, injuries have caught up with him. That's why when we signed him, when he was 28 million, that was maybe like a Mike Ashley just case of, we'll just get him to sign, he'll get the goals, and I'll be able to sell the club. Because obviously it was just after the takeover went off, and a year later we got the takeover.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Do you think a few of the players could have said their goodbyes as well, possibly, because I think some of the players now need to be moved on from this club as well?
Yeah, Matt Target, if we can find someone, but I think I've got a feeling it's going to be a loan deal if we do get rid of, if someone does come in for him. Jamal Lewis, we know is off.
Any more? Captain Lascelles?
Lascelles, that's a maybe. I don't know if he did sign this, you know, extension.
We didn't yet. I've not heard anything on it, so
we'll have to see. I mean, we'll see when the club put out their release list.
And do you think we should listen to an offer from maybe a couple of players?
Yeah, Joe Willock's one. He hasn't scored this season in the Premier League. Yes, he scored again like Wilson, scored some goals to keep up under Bruce, and he scored. If he hadn't scored that goal against Forest, I know he couldn't have missed. But if he didn't score that, we go out that right and we don't win the cup. But Willock, he just needs to move on. I'd say he's a bit like Hayden. Both of them signed from Arsenal, both scored in 1-0 wins against Chelsea, but then they've had an injury against Brighton and they've not been the same since then.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think you've said as well. Was it Longstaff and possibly another player you would be listing offers for?
Well, yeah. Only issue is it's the club trained quota for Europe. I hate that rule, but
well, we're just going to see what happens.
Yeah. Even so, I can still see him going. He's got a year left on his contract. He could probably do a job again for you know, a lower down Premier League side.
Possibly.
I mean, and of course, if we do sell him, it's pure profit.
Yeah, that's it. One more question. Are we looking forward to the time where Derby's back next season, since they're down the road, got promoted yesterday?
I am, and been too long since we last beat them in a league game. Yes, we beat them in the FA Cup, but it's not really the same as beating them in the Premier League. But you know what it is, I won't be as nervous because you know, it's, you know, if the beat win the first game, we've always got the second game. That wasn't the case when we played them in the FA Cup. But yes, we're looking forward to it, and you know, especially when you're seeing, like, for example, the Manchester derby. I think stuff going on between Bruno and Kevin De Bruyne now should really be rivals, but they didn't really show that. You know, this is probably a bigger derby, like, in terms of fan hatred than most of the derbies we've got in the Premier League nowadays. I mean, you'd probably say derbies in the Championship and lower down, those are probably better rivalries than what you've got in the Premier League.
That's it. Anyway, thank you all.